ball game. On offense, the Patriots led, as always, by Taylor Quarles, a 5'11", 185-pound senior. The running backs, a couple seniors as well, Kenny Madison, a 6'2", 180-pounder, and Darren Cunningham, a 5'10", 185-pounder. The wideouts, Tracy Ivy on one side, a 6'2", 180-pound senior. Jesse Day on the other side, a 6'1", 175-pounder senior, as well as are all of the Jefferson County offensive starters. Todd Collins, the tight end, 6'3", 228-pounder. Across the line, strong tackle Brian Spivey, 6'3", 255 pounds. Next to him at the strong guard spot, Mike Smith at 5'10" and 230 pounds. In the middle, David Satterfield's the center, 6'1", 225-pounder. Brian Overbay at one guard spot, 5'11", 210-pound senior. And the quick tackle, Darren Breeden at 6'2", 225 pounds. On the defensive side of the ball, Jefferson County at one end has Andre Batts, a 6'1", 215-pound senior. Next to him at a tackle spot, Brian Spivey, 6'3", 255. In the middle, the nose guard, Mike Smith at 5'10", 230 pounds. Next to him at the right tackle, Johnny Williams, a 6'2", 215-pound senior. And at the right end, Eric Greer, a 6'1", 220-pound senior. The linebackers, a couple of fine performers. David Satterfield, 6'1", 225-pounder. Next to him, Todd Collins at 6'3", 228. The defensive backs, John David Holland at 5'9", 180 pounds. Darren Cunningham, 5'10", 185 pounds. Tracy Ivy at 6'2", 180. Scott Henson shares time at free safety with Jesse Day. Henson, a 5'11", 150-pound junior, and Jesse Day, a 6'1", 175-pound senior. Pete, you're ready to get things rolling.
Yeah, Steve, Cocke County did win the toss, but they elected to give the ball to Jefferson County. Representing Jefferson County at the field was Kenny Madison and Todd Collins, and for Cocke County was Tony Dawson and Chad Fincham. So the Patriots will have their hands on the football first. Kenny Madison will be setting back deep to receive the football. Sit back and enjoy the play-by-play by Steve Cotton. Bill Powell, we're missing you, and you're going to be missing an exciting ball game. Buddy, we're going to keep you filled in.
Jan Lamb set the kickoff for the Cocke County Fighting Cocks. As Keith said, Kenny Madison back deep to receive. Eric Carter and Darren Cunningham also back to receive. Jan Lamb approaches the football lane, kicks it down the middle, where it's taken in by Darren Cunningham at the 25-yard line, out across the 30, up to about the 37-yard line, before he is taken down by Robbie Lewis. Chad Fincham also in on the tackle. Jefferson County has the ball, 1st and 10 from the Patriots' own 37-yard line. Taylor Quarles takes Jefferson County up to the line. Wide to the left side, Jesse Day. Wide right, Tracy Ivy. Split in the backfield are Kenny Madison and Darren Cunningham. Taylor Quarles looks, gives the left side. Not much room as he gets a couple of yards out to the 39, maybe the 40-yard line, before he is taken down by a host of Cocke County tacklers.
He sure was, Steve. He was met at the line that time by Freddie Pierce. Freddie is just doing an outstanding job right now for his Cocke County ball team on his first series. Cocke County came out in a 52 look with a wide split.
Quarles takes him up to the line, 2nd down, 8 yards to go. John David Holland into the lineup. Quarles option left, pitch back to Kenny Madison, breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. He gets some open room up across the 50-yard line into Cocke County territory at the 40. He is finally taken out of bounds at the Fighting Cocks 30. Let's see, they're going to say about the 28-yard line. Kenny Madison breaks loose with a fine run. Call it right around 32-yard gain for the Jefferson County Patriots leading rusher.
Well, Pedro Gedger saved a touchdown on that side, and Pedro just dragged the shirt tail out of Kenny's pants, and if that did have to be tearaway jersey, Kenny would have been in there for 6 points.
1st and 10 from the Cocke County 28-yard line. Quarles up to the line of scrimmage, hand off to Darren Cunningham up the middle. He has some room up across the 25-yard line, gets down to about the 23-yard line before he is met by some Cocke County defenders.
He was met that time by Dustin Hawks along with Jason Grooms up the middle of the line. And before he was able to come down, he picked up about 7 yards on the play.
Call it a 6-yard gain down to the Cocke County 22-yard line for Darren Cunningham. Split wide to the right is Jason Inslee. Quarles has his back split. Handoff to Cunningham up the middle. He has some open room again down across the 20-yard line. And he is taken down at about the 15-yard line. A gain of about 7 yards on the play for Darren Cunningham. That's a first down for the Patriots.
One thing that we are seeing tonight, Steve, is we're seeing a battle up front where our offensive line is taking it straight at the Fighting Cocks tonight. As we said earlier, they are averaging 6 foot, 212 pounds, where our front line is 6 foot 1, 225 pounds. But right now we're showing a sure sign of a lot of upper body strength.
Quarles takes the Patriots to the line. Day and Ivy, the wide receivers. Taylor takes the snap and heads right over the middle himself, just following the center for 3 or 4 yards.
He was brought down that time by Dustin Hutz, which Dustin is 5'10", 185-pound senior for the Cocks, along with Glenn Holston. Glenn is 5'11", 230-pound senior. We're seeing a lot of seniors tonight on this defensive and offensive line for both ball clubs.
Ball is down at, we'll call it about the 13-yard line. It's kind of hard to tell. Can't see the line markers too well. But Taylor Quarles takes him up to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it 2nd and 8, possibly 2nd and 7. Quarles takes the snap, drops back, looking on the left sideline, incomplete. Pass was intended for Tracy Ivy, running a little out pattern, but the ball underthrown.
Taylor did push the ball just a little bit too quick at that time. Tracy that time was being defended by Brian Stewart, which is a free safety, and doing an outstanding job over on the corner with Scotty Dykes. Both of them are seniors this year, and you should hear a lot about them in this ball game.
Brings up third down and movement along the Patriots line. It looked like the right side was just a little bit antsy, so that will cause a 5-yard procedure penalty against Jefferson County and move the ball back to somewhere in the vicinity of the 18-yard line.
Well, Brian Dougal-Spivey, which is a big man. He's 6'3", 255-pound senior, along with the spark plug of this ball club, Mike Smith, 5'10", 230-pound senior. Just had a little bit of movement in there. Not saying that they got to answer their pants and getting a little excited, but they're going to be moving some people around.
Third down, 12 yards to go for the Patriots. Morgan and Cunningham in the backfield. Morgan now goes in motion. Handoff. No, play action. Hit Todd Collins over the middle. Touchdown, Patriots. A fine play action fake by Taylor Quarles. Took a short drop. Hit Todd Collins on that quick pass over the middle we've seen so many times this year. And Jefferson County jumps out to the lead.
Just a great job by Taylor. Read the offensive play set up. Todd took 3 steps, cut inside real quick, and Taylor has been completed on that same route about 6 times this year for a touchdown, and it works every time.
Anthony Dawkins in to attempt the point after for Jefferson County. This is an aspect of the game which has had some problems this year, but the snap is back down and the kick is good. And with 9 minutes and 8 seconds left in the first period, Jefferson County leads at 7-0. We'll be right back.
Good job.
Bobby Morgan, 46, kick it off.
Chuck Reed.
Bobby Morgan set to kick off for the Patriots. Chuck Reed, Robbie Holdway back deep to receive the kick. Reed will take it in at the 16-yard line. He's out across the 20 up to about the 27-yard line, but he is hitting it hard, and the ball may have popped loose, but it's blown dead as the Patriots kick coverage team does a fine job. And
sure did. We had Robert Tucker down there on the tackle, along with John David Holland, which just flew down there just as quickly as possible and made some things happen. And old Holloway, I should say Robert Holdway, sure felt that the Patriots was around him.
Tony Dawson takes the Fighting Cocks to the line of scrimmage. Holdway and Carter in the backfield. Dawson takes the snap. Handoff on the left side is taken by Jerome Carter. He has very little room. Check that. It's Robbie Holdway on the carry, but not much room at all for the Cocke County running back as Scott Hinkey is in on the tackle.
And also Eric Greer, which is a senior. Eric 6'1", 220 pounds, and also our linebackers, Todd Collins, along with David Satterfield.
Fighting Coxon, 2 receivers to the left side. Play action, handoff on the right side of the line, and stuffed quickly by Jefferson County's defense. No gain at all.
He was stuck very hard that time. Todd Collins put a little red dog blitz inside the middle. And also our nose man, Mike Smith, went right across there and split the gap and making things happen for this defensive unit.
Loss of a yard on the play. 3rd down, 8 yards to go for the Fighting Cocks. Pedro Gudger, the wide receiver, to the left side. Chuck Reed splits to the right. Carter and Holdway split in the backfield. Dawson takes a snap, drops back, looking for Gudger on the left side. Completed at the 50-yard line. He's called dead at that spot as his knee hit the ground, but a fine pass route run by Pedro Gudger. And we can see his big play capability right away. Cocke County with a gain of about 22 yards on the play. The ball spotted right at midfield.
Well, we had a little bit of mess up in our secondary this time. Darren Cunningham got turned around that time, and Gudger was able to come out and break loose for about 23-yard pickup.
Gudger now splits to the right side. Inside him, Scotty Dykes. Carter and Holdway split in the backfield. Dawson checks off at the line of scrimmage. He sets over center. Turn around, the handoff is up the middle to Carter. Nothing doing as he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
He sure is. He's stopped right at the line of scrimmage again by Todd Collins along with Eric Greer, and also number 57 on our program, which is Brian Spivey. They're trying to run at our big men that are playing both sides of the football tonight, trying to wear them down so they may have the advantage during the 4th quarter.
2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Fighting Cocks, who send Gudger wide to the left side, Reed wide right. Again, Holdway and Carter split in the backfield. Handoff this time is fumbled, and the Patriots recover at midfield.
I believe that football was recovered by number 50, the spark plug that I was telling you about, Mike Smith. Mike's 5'10", 220 pounds. He's built low to the ground, so he doesn't have too far to fall on the football when it's fumbled.
Mike Smith gives Jefferson County the ball, and the Patriots would like to get a quick lead on this team and have a chance to do that. Taylor Quarles takes Jefferson County to the line of scrimmage. Day and Ivy, the wide receivers, handoff off the left side to Darren Cunningham. He gets a couple of yards before he is stacked up.
Darren was met at the line of scrimmage that time by linebacker Chad Fincham. Chad's a senior this year, and he's 5'11", 195 pounds, doing an outstanding job along with Jared Taylor, the other junior linebacker, which will probably be hearing a lot of action tonight because the Patriots' offensive line at the present time is just moving Cocke County up and down the field.
Bobby Morgan replaces Darren Cunningham in the Jefferson County backfield. Quarles takes him to the line. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Option left. Pitch back to Kenny Madison, and he has a lot of running. Madison into Cocke County territory. Across the 40, down across the 30-yard line. Breaks a tackle, and that's going to be it. Kenny Madison, 10-5, touchdown, Patriots.
Just an outstanding run by Kenny Madison, going all the way downfield. Had a lead block that time by Jesse Day. 2 Cocke County defenders trying to bring him down. Kenny spinned a little bit at the 10-yard line, broke loose, and gave us 6 more points on the scoreboard.
Kenny Madison showing some fine speed and great athletic ability, and Jefferson County is doing just what it came into this ball game hoping to do, jumping out to an early lead. Anthony Dawkins in to attempt the extra point, which would make it a 14-0 Patriots lead. The snap is back. John David Holland with the placement. The kick is right down the middle. Jefferson County 14, Cocke County nothing. 5 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first period of this ball game. We will be right back. Reed and Gudger back for Cocke County. Bobby Morgan's kick taken in by Gudger at the 10-yard line. He moves to the left side of the field, breaks a couple of tackles out across the 25, across the 30-yard line before he is finally taken down. In on the tackle is Shane Ferguson.
Shane did an outstanding job of saving a touchdown that time, along with number 45, which is Chris Orr. Cocke County came prepared on their extra special teams. And, they used the sideline very well on the home side of the field, bring the ball up quite well that time.
Backs in the I formation for Cocke County as Dawson takes the Fighting Cocks to the line of scrimmage. Hand off to the second man through. That's Jerome Carter. He gets a couple of yards up to about the 39-yard line.
He was brought down, Steve, that time by Andre Batts. Andre this year is a senior. He's 215 pounds. He's 6'1", and just been doing an outstanding job all year long. Also, Eric Greer has been doing another outstanding job at the other defensive end spot.
Second down, 7 yards to go for Cocke County. Dawson takes the Fighting Cocks to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the left side. Running backs are split in the backfield. Handoff is to Carter. He has some running room across the 45-yard line to Jefferson County territory at about the Patriots' 49-yard line before he is met and taken down by Scott Henson. Andre Batts also in on the tackle. First down.
One thing that happened that time, Steve, is both of our linebackers shot inside, which made a very big play. And when that happens, our linebackers are shooting to the outside shoulder of our defensive tackles, which leaves a hole inside. And what can happen that, as we just saw, they can sure leave a lot of running room in the middle, and the only people that can bring down the tackles is our defensive ends, which are playing trail backs in, and then also our free safety, which made the tackle.
Well, Jefferson County has jumped out to the lead the team wanted, 14-0, 4 minutes and 22 seconds remain in the first period. There's a timeout on the field, but the Patriots with those 14 points have set a new IMAX scoring record. On the year now, Jefferson County has scored in just over 9 games an amazing total of 372 points while holding their opponents to a collective 62. Keith, those are some fabulous numbers.
I think that gives a credit to the whole Patriot unit, because if you can remember and look at the points that have been put on the board, it hasn't just been by our starting lineup, it's also been by our second team and also our B team ball players that have seen quite a bit of action in the last few ball games.
Well, we're ready to go once again. First down and 10 yards to go for Cocke County at the Jefferson County 29-yard line. Gudger and Weed, the wide receivers, backs are split. Dawson drops back. He's looking for Gudger again, throwing deep. John David Holland on the coverage. Pass is knocked down as John David Holland was back along with Scott Henson, and some fine defensive play kept Gudger from getting his hands on the football.
Well, we did find out one thing, that Cocke County is going to throw the football tonight, which we were saying early in the program that we thought they would be a running offensive team. One thing Scott Henson did, and also John David Holland, they were stride for stride down the sidelines, did an outstanding job protecting them, and broke up the football quite well.
That's the way you want to play that defense. Second down, 10 yards to go for Cocke County. Dawson takes the Fighting Cocks to the line of scrimmage. Backs are split, as are the wide receivers. Hand off out the right side, and some running room for Robbie Holdway. He's down across the Jefferson County 45, across the 40, before he's taken down at the Patriots 35-yard line. About a 14-yard gain for Robbie Holdway.
Well, he was brought down that time by Paul Helton. Paul's wearing number 84. He's 6'3", 200-pound junior. The same thing happened again, Steve. Both of our linebackers were shooting inside. All we had to do was take one step to the outside, shoot back across the middle, which leaves a big hole inside.
Dykes replaces Reed at the wide receiver. He split left. Gudger split right. The back's in the I formation. Dawson handoff to the second man through as Carter. He is hit quickly, as no room at all for Jerome Carter.
Well, he was met that time, and the first initial hit was by David Satterfield, and might say wrap up and put him to the ground that time was made by Eric Greer, the defensive end for the Patriots. One thing that we saw again, Coach Kisbeth is shooting the gaps inside very much with his linebackers. We have to make sure if he does shoot one linebacker inside that the other one stays at home, or the free safety stays at home and fills that linebacker position gap, or we're going to have a lot of running room inside.
Give Carter a gain of about a yard on the play. Second down, 9 yards to go. Option to the right side. Pitch back to Carter. He has some room out across the 35-yard line, but the hole closes quickly as he is taken down after a gain of just a couple more at about the 33-yard lines. Darren Cunningham comes up from the defensive secondary and makes the stop.
Well, we had Todd Collins that time was shaken up on the play, but was able to help himself off to the side of the field over there. And coming in for Todd right now, the new linebacker position is Looks like number 46, Bobby Morgan, which will be filling his shoes right now, along with David Satterfield.
Third down, 8 yards to go for Cocke County. The Fighting Cocks go from the shotgun, and the pass is thrown to the left side, incomplete. As Keith, that was an interesting formation by Cocke County. We expected to see this team come out and try about anything, and we just did.
We sure did. We saw Pedro Gudger was the quarterback that time. You might saw the old single wing formation. He doesn't have quite the arms that their starting quarterback does tonight. But as we said also early in the program, Coach Williams is going to try a little bit of everything to kind of keep the Patriot defense off balance a little bit.
Third down and 8 yards to go for Cocke County. They decide to go for a timeout, and we'll take a 30-second timeout and be back right after this. Welcome back to Hedrick Field in Newport. Steve Cotton along with Keith Ryman bringing you this evening's action as Jefferson County has a 14-0 lead over Cocke County with 2 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first period. Cocke County comes out again in that single wing formation. Gudger, the beat man, he takes a snap and he's looking downfield wanting to throw. He goes deep along the left side intended for Stewart, and that is broken up nicely.
John David Holland, and John had a little help that time by Scott Henson again. Cocke County's putting that football up in the air. It's amazing right now that he's using Gudger to throw the football instead of his quarterbacks, Dawson or Thompson.
And they tried that on fourth down. Jefferson County takes over on downs as Cocke County apparently thinks it needs to get something going right away or it's going to be in deep trouble. The Patriots take over. First down, 10 yards to go from their own 33-yard line. Quarles takes the snap. Handoff is to Darren Cunningham. He has some running room across the 35 and up to about the 40-yard line, where Darren Cunningham had some running room, cutting against the grain as he made it a couple of yards downfield.
Well, Scotty Dykes tripped Darren up that time, and Scotty wasn't there. Darren had a lot of running room between the 40-yard line and pay dirt down to the other end. But one thing that I did notice that time that we have to do is we have to stay with our blocks. We did let Tracy Ivey, which was leading the block, let one of the Cocke County linemen slip by, and we'll have to retain them for a few more seconds.
Madison Cunningham in the backfield. Quarles option right, handoff to Darren Cunningham off the tackle, makes a couple of yards. Be up close to the first down yardage. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it'll be just a little bit short. Jefferson County has to spot it at about the 43-yard line of the Patriots. Third down, about a foot to go for the first down, and now they're going to check and see if it actually is third down or if the Patriots may have a first down. I don't think they do, but they'll bring the chains on.
Darren was brought down by one of the largest offensive linemen, or defensive linemen, excuse me, Jason Grooms. Jason is 255 pounds. He's 5'11" for the Cocke County Ball Club, and has been around for a lot of years, and Jason has got a fine future ahead of him if he just keeps his academic works up and also the footwork that you need to play college football.
It is third down and inches to go for the first down. Jesse Day enters the ball game for Jefferson County, replaces Jason Ensley. Day splits to the right, which is the short side of the field. Wide left, Tracy Ivey. Cunningham and Madison in the backfield. Quarles checks off the line of scrimmage, takes a snap, handoff to Cunningham, off right tackle. Darren shoots across the 45-yard line, a gain of about 3 yards, which is plenty for the first down.
The Jefferson County Patriot offensive unit is just surging off the ball quite well that time. Chad Fincher, which is a linebacker, along with Brian Stewart, which is a free safety, made the tackle on that, and it goes to show you that this offensive team, especially the front five, is moving the Cocke County defensive unit back about 3 yards of whack, and Coach Williams sure can't afford that, especially with about 55 seconds left in this first quarter.
Ensley into the ball game, replacing Day. He's split to the left side. Ivy split right, handoff, option to the left side, pitches back to Madison, who can't hang on. The ball is knocked back toward the Patriots goal line. A big scramble, mostly Cocke players in on the scramble. This may be the break the Cocke we're looking for. It is Cocke County, first down and goal, or first down to go. The ball is at the Jefferson County 30-yard 20-yard line.
Chuck Reed, which is a strong safety, came all the way from the strong safety position to recover that fumble. It looked like about 4 or 5 people were holding each other's jerseys, tripping each other, and it looked like continental wrestling out there for a little bit.
And scramble for the football. Cocke County comes out in a standard split backfield formation on this particular play. Handoff is to Jerome Carter, who has a couple of yards before he is taken down.
That quieted down the crowd just a little bit because he was met very hard, very close to the line of scrimmage by Andre Batch and Todd Collins. And Todd must have just had the wind knocked out of him, and he's coming back, and he'll be playing hard and giving it all he's got.
Gain of, call it 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7 for Cocke County. And that is the end of the first period of play. Jefferson County 14, Cocke County nothing. We'll be right back.
Was that a stake?
Welcome back to this evening's ball game between Jefferson County and Cocke County. The Patriots, after the first period of play, hold a 14-0 lead over Cocke County. Cocke County has the ball after the fumble by Jefferson County at the Patriots' 28-yard line. 2nd down, 7 yards to go for Cocke County. Dawson with his backs in the I formation. Handoff to the second man through his Carter, and he gets maybe a yard gain before he is met by Andre Batts. And
Andre's just playing a super ball game right now, Steve. This defensive end position. Andre, as I told you earlier, is a senior this year and is really coming into his own. He's joined that time by Brian Spivey, which is, Brian is also a senior. He's 6'3", 255 pounds. A lot of colleges are looking at him right now, and this is going to be a good ball game to show a lot of colleges what we're all about.
Backs are split. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. Dawson decides to roll right, and he is sacked. Todd Collins shoots through the gap and meets the quarterback before he could even look downfield and see what was available to him. Jefferson County with a couple of defensive players getting good penetration, a nice defensive effort.
Well, Coach Kisbeth guessed right that time. As when you're calling defensive signals, you just got to play the odds, and Todd had a wide open shot that time at the quarterback. Todd is 6'3", 228-pound senior, and Todd has got a big decision to make also here. This season is over, but he's still looking forward to playing a few more ball games, especially the final one in Vanderbilt.
4th and 14 for Cocke County. The Fighting Cocks decide to go for it. Dawson takes the snap, looks downfield. He has Gudger down about the 20 yards. For Cocke County, Pedro Gudger with the reception. He's finally taken down at about the 15-yard line as the Fighting Cocks decide to try it. 4th down, and we're successful.
Just an outstanding job of throwing the football and catching it that time. Jefferson County was dropped back in the secondary. The linebackers were on that blitz again, and we had Tracy Ivey along with Jesse Day back there to make the tackle.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line of Jefferson County. Back split, 2 wide receivers left. Handoff is to Holdway. He's up across the 15-yard line to about the 10, maybe inside the 10 before he is taken down. Todd Collins in on the tackle.
Todd was also joined that time by John David Holland and also Tracy Ivey. Coach Kisbeth let his linebacker stay at home that time just a little bit. And that time, Holdway just zigzagged inside now for about a 6-yard pickup.
Snap is taken right up the middle by the quarterback.
Right up the middle. Y'all didn't hang off that time and both the linebackers shooting the gap, and one takes a quick handoff from the quarterback to the tailback and the fullback. He got 2 yards past those linebackers who were blitzing. It's a good 6 points.
So Dawson takes it on into the end zone. Cocke County onto the scoreboard with 9 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first half. And good. So Cocke County cuts the Patriots lead in half, 14-7. We'll be right back. Jan Lamb set the kickoff kickoff for Cocke County. The Fighting Cocks cut into the Patriots lead 14-7. The kick is short, taken at about the 30-yard line by one of the upmen. That's Todd Collins, who advances it up across the 35-yard line to about the, call it the 37-yard line before he is taken down. So the Patriots have good field position.
Well, he was brought down by some new faces in the lineup right now. Is Brent Hall, which is one of our backups, one of the Cocke County backups, defensive end, also an offensive guard, and those two gentlemen met. It's a battle of who's going to be the strongest on their feet.
Madison and Cunningham split behind Quarles. Ivy and Day, the wide receivers. Handoff is attempted by Taylor Quarles, but it appeared to be a bit of a broken play. Taylor saw he didn't have enough time, kept the ball himself, tried to get whatever he could out of the play, and made it back to about the line of scrimmage.
Scott Kelly, which is a defensive end for the Fighting Cocks, along with Glenn Polston, which is a nose guard, kept the play inside. They let the first man go through. Taylor had the option of pitching. The pitch man was not looking, so he had to take the football and eat it. And at that time, Holston and Kelly were right there to meet him at the line of scrimmage.
Give Quarles a yard gain. 2nd down 9 for the Patriots. Ensley into the ball game. Quarles takes a snap, rolls back to the left. Pressure on Jefferson County. Cocke County defenders made it into the backfield, and Taylor Quarles had nowhere to go.
Freddie Pierce is a 6'2", 210-pound junior, so he had a lot of speed, along with Dustin Hutz, which is 5'10", 185-pound senior. An awful lot of pressure on Taylor Quarles, and has really brought this Cocke County crowd a lot of life and on their feet.
Well, Keith, the big play for Cocke County, it appears, was that 4th down attempt when the Fighting Cocks decided to go for it. They were successful on that 4th down on a pass from Dawson to Gudger. They ended up going on in for the touchdown. This crowd, which had gotten very quiet after the Patriots jumped out to the 14-0 lead, is back in the ball game, and right now Cocke County's defense is playing some inspired football and is causing some problems for Jefferson County.
Very much. This is one of the few times this whole season, and particularly this ball game, that Jefferson County is having a deficit, you might say, when it's 3rd down and 14, 15 yards to go. Offensive line just is not giving Taylor the time to throw the football like he's capable of doing, and then also his offensive line has to remember one thing. This is a big rivalry. Everything goes and anything is going to go.
Day and Ivy, the wide receivers for Taylor Quarles. 3rd down, 14 yards to go for the Patriots. Cunningham in motion. Quarles drops back, looking downfield. Screen set up on the right side of the field. The pass was not there. A little bit behind Collins, incomplete. Brings up 4th down for the Patriots.
Taylor had a lot of pressure that time, but number 76, Jason Jones, and linebacker Jared Taylor. The Cocke County team is very well prepared for this football game. I'm sure that Coach Kivitz is going to make some adjustments during halftime, and even before halftime, he's got his offensive unit over on the sideline with Coach Anthony, and tell him what has to be done, and that this ball game is far from over.
Johnny Williams with his 37.6 yards per punt average. Back to kick for the Patriots. 8 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first half. Jefferson County 14, Cocke County 7. Williams with the punt off the side of his foot, and it drops the field, and it takes the Cocke County bounce, actually. Back in the Patriots territory, where it's down at the Jefferson County 49-yard line by David Pagel. So Cocke County with pressure on the Patriots.
Sure are. Tony Dolson, the quarterback, got his instructions from Coach Larry Williams coming out. Johnny Williams, didn't see him lifted actually out, is out of the ball game right now at the defensive end spot. And Eric Greer and Andre Batch are going to be filling those shoes right now.
Dawson with the back split behind him. Handoff is to Holdway. He has a couple of yards down to 46-yard line of the Patriots before he is taken down. Mike Smith with another tackle,
along with David Satterfield. And one thing that Coach Kivitz is starting out with this series of defensive plays is he kept his linebackers at home this time, especially when he's bringing in a new defensive end by Andre Batts, and also with Paul Helton, which hasn't had a whole lot of playing experience.
Pick up a 4 for Holdway. Dykes in the game at a wide receiver spot. Handoff is to Jerome Carter, who is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. The ball comes loose, but it's blown dead. In on the tackle, Paul Helton, who got penetration and just racked up Jerome Carter.
Well, I said he hadn't had much playing experience, but he looked like he was in the big leagues that time because he came across, did an outstanding job making the tackle, along with number 69, Scott Hickey, which doing an outstanding job giving Todd Collins and David Satterfield just a little bit of rest in between the offensive and defensive series.
3rd down and 7 yards to go for Cocke County, lining up again in the single wing formation with Gudger back to take the snap, and he's going to run to the right side, and he has absolutely no room at all. Pedro Gudger is met in the backfield by Bobby Morgan, and the Patriots apparently came up with a key to stop that single wing.
Well, Bobby Morgan, when he went into that single wing formation, your tailback is lined up about 12 yards back. It's almost like in a quick kick or a punting situation. Bobby was at the linebacker spot, just shot right through there and met the running back right at the line of scrimmage, which gave Cocke County right now at the present time a 4th down and punting the football.
Steve Thompson in the punt for Cocke County. He gets a kick down to the right sideline, and Kenny Madison's going to let it bounce. He's going to roll it in about the 10-yard line, where Madison decides to fall on it at about the 8-yard line before it rolled any deeper into Patriots territory. A fine punt by Stephen Thompson. Didn't look very pretty, Keith, but it got the big roll.
It sure did get a big roll, and Scott Kelly was down there right away to make sure that Kenny Madison didn't take the football and try to run it. Patriots right now are deep into the territory right now. The ball's resting on the 9-yard line, and Taylor Quarles has got to get this football team out of danger right now and hopefully put 7 more points on the scoreboard before halftime comes about.
5 minutes, 45 seconds and counting remaining in the first half of play. 1st and 9 from the 9-yard line. The Patriots backed up deep in their own territory. Quarles takes a snap, handoff to Cunningham up the middle. He's out to about the 15-yard line.
He was met that time by Chad Fincham. Chad Fincham had a little bit of assistance that time by Chuck Reed, along with Glenn Holston, the nose guard. One thing that I noticed that time is that Glenn Holston has got a lot of speed. He was knocked to the ground that time by David Satterfield, our offensive center, who picked himself up and then ran 5 yards back and made an assist on the tackle.
Scott Henson in the ball game at a wide receiver spot for Jefferson County. 2nd down, 4 yards to go for the Patriots. Backs are split behind Taylor Quarles. He checks off the line of scrimmage. Crossbuck action in the backfield. Handoff to Kenny Madison up across the 30-yard line, out to the 35, 40-yard line. Madison with some blockers across midfield into Cocke County territory before he's finally taken down at the Fighting Cocks 46-yard line. A fine effort once again by Kenny Madison.
Kenny Madison just had to break one more tackle. He was weaving inside and out. And things just kind of closed up just a little bit that time by Jerry Taylor, along with Chuck Reed, who made the final tackle on him. Kenny is showing that he does have very quick feet running up and down this football field this evening. He has to remember one thing, that he has to run to the side that his defender is trying to block him, because that way he's got a lot more running room towards the sideline.
1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Cocke County 46-yard line. Hand off to the first man in. That's Darren Cunningham. He gets about a yard, but not much room for Darren before he is stopped at the Fighting Cocks 45-yard line.
Well, that time Darren had to cut the ball inside because Brian Stewart, which is playing a defensive end position right now for Freddie Pierce, which is giving this Cocke County team a lot more speed on the defensive end spots, turned the play inside. And also at the same time, he was looking at Kenny Madison to make sure that he didn't receive the pitch.
Day and Henson, the wide receivers. 2nd down, 9 yards to go for the Patriots. Madison, Cunningham in the backfield split. Quarles takes a snap, rolls left side, looking downfield, and he has Scott Henson at about the 39-yard line. Gain of about 6 yards on the play.
He was knocked out.
3rd and 3.
Excuse me, Steve, I'm sorry. Pedro Gudger, which was number 20, which was the defensive back, knocked him out of bounds. And one thing that Coach Kisbeth and Coach Williams is going to have to watch out before this ball game is over. Even though there's a rival, there's a lot of words being said on the football field, especially between Gudger and also Scott Henson, both offensively and defensively. And one thing that the officials are going to have to do, and have been doing an outstanding job, is keeping this game under control.
3rd and 4 from the 39-yard line. Handoff to Bobby Morgan, who's in the ball game. Gain of about 5 yards on the play. Should be enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot it before he's taken down.
Freddie Pierce came up for a fine tackle on Bobby Morgan. Bobby Morgan did pick up the first down, Steve, and he showed you one thing, is how to cover up a football and make sure that nothing can ever happen as far as fumbling the football.
Bobby Morgan had it wrapped up and was not going to let anyone pop it loose from him. Jason Ensley into the ballgame at one wide receiver spot along with Scott Henson. Back split behind Taylor Quarles. Quarles checks off at the line of scrimmage. Quarles takes a play action handoff going deep in the right side, complete for a touchdown to Jason Ensley.
Just an outstanding job by the offensive unit. The offensive line gave Taylor plenty of room inside. Taylor faked to the first man through, which was Darren Cunningham, and just unloaded with that left-handed arm to Jason Ensley for a fine touchdown, which gives the Patriots another 6 points.
Jason Ensley, the fine sophomore wide receiver, got his defensive back turned around, and that was the only opening Taylor Quarles needed. He saw the opening he had, put the ball high in the air, hit Ensley perfectly for the touchdown. 20-7 is our score. 3 minutes and 21 seconds remain in the first period of play. Anthony Dawkins in to attempt the extra point. Low line drive kick, but it's good. And the Patriots lead it 21-7. We'll be right back.
The representative of the Jefferson County band is invited to the press box for your announcement at halftime, if you so desire.
Bobby Morgan set to kick off for the Patriots. Kick is along the right side, allowed to bounce by Cocke County, picked up by Pedro Gudger at about the 20-yard line. He has some opening up across the 30-yard line, and he makes it up to about the 35 before he's met by a host of Patriot tacklers.
Well, Gudger did an outstanding job reading his whole blocking scheme from the Cocke County special teams. On the tackle that time was Bobby Morgan along with Chris Orr. And one thing that Cocke County will probably notice if they go back to these game films at halftime, or the coaches up here in the press box, Jefferson County went straight to the football instead of following their lanes down to where the football should be. And all they needed is Gudger's one block, and he could have been up the sidelines.
Dawson takes the handoff, takes a snap handoff rather to Jerome Carter, who has his probably best run of the day, about a 5-yard gain up to the 40-yard line, as the Patriots have kept Jerome Carter, the Cocke County leading rusher, in pretty good containment throughout this ball game.
Doing an outstanding job, Steve. The only problem that we have right now is we've got to make sure that our linebackers, when they blitz through, that they keep their heads up instead of down and looking at the feet. We've got to meet them in the numbers.
Gudger and Dykes, the wide receivers, back split behind Tony Dawson, senior quarterback. Looks over the Patriots defense, takes a snap, handoff to Holdway. He's up to about the 45-yard line before Holdway is met by David Satterfield.
Tony Dawson that time, right when he was handing the football off, was met at the line of scrimmage by Mike Smith. One thing he did again, it left that big hole open, and the linebackers were home, and fortunately enough, they didn't get too many yards on it, but it was enough for the first down.
2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first half of play. Cocke County with the ball at their own 45-yard line, trying to get on the board once more before the end of this first half. Patriots lead at 21-7. First and 10 for the Fighting Cocks. Dawson takes the snap, option to the right side, pitches back to Jerome Carter, and he is taken down for a big loss. Andre Batts with the tackle back at the 40-yard line.
Andre did an outstanding job, Steve, staying with the deepest man through, as he's supposed to do at a defensive end position. A little bit quicker, Andre needed to bring him inside instead of stringing it to sideline to sideline. But what made that play really happen, along with Andre, was David Satterfield put a fine hit on Tony Dawson as he was pitching the football.
Single wing formation once again for Cocke County. The quarterback comes off the field. Gudger, the wide receiver, most of the time is the deep man in the single wing. Second down, 15 yards to go. Gudger takes the snap. He's looking downfield, throwing deep for Scotty Dykes. He is incomplete down at about the 15-yard line, as Gudger that time had something on the football. Overthrew his man, though.
About a 47-yard pass in the air, and Gudger did show that he had an arm on him. One thing that we did do and had a lot of progress that time is our secondary made an outstanding job as covering it on that time, on that play. Tracy Ivey was back there. Tracy doing an outstanding job along with Jesse Day, and those two gentlemen are both seniors on this ball club, and one thing that for sure, Steve, is this senior leadership is really doing an outstanding job and coming out for everyone.
It really shows. You get a team that didn't panic when things seemed to be going Cocke County's way for a couple of minutes. The Fighting Cocks got on the scoreboard and had the ball in pretty good field position, but Jefferson County stayed in its game plan. The Patriots had a couple of big plays. Kenny Madison with the big run. Taylor Quarles with that beautiful touchdown pass. Cool under pressure. Hit Jason Ensley on the bomb, and the Patriots once again established control of this ball game. Now the defense is doing the same thing on the other side of the ball. A minute, 17 seconds left. Here in the first half, Cocke County finds itself in a 3rd down and 15 yards to go situation. The Fighting Cocks on their own 40-yard line when play resumes.
Well, we've got a break here in the action, Steve. I need to say one thing on behalf of you and myself and my partner back in Jefferson City, Bill Powell, is we sure are still expecting a good speedy recovery for Arlene Peck, which was in an automobile accident week 10 days ago. And she would also like to say thank you for all the cards and letters and prayers that she's been receiving.
We had a lot of calls wondering how she was doing. Ledger from the single wing formation once again. The pass is almost intercepted by Jesse Day, intended for Scotty Dykes, and Jesse Day couldn't quite hang on.
Well, Jesse Day almost bobbled the football right back into Scotty Dykes' hand, and if that would have happened, Scotty would have been gone for 6 points. One thing Jesse tried to do, like he tried to run with the football before he got it, and one thing he has to do is either catch the football or knock it down to the ground so that doesn't happen.
Cocke County into punt formation with Stephen Thompson back to kick. Kenny Madison back deep for the Patriots. Thompson with a high kick, not very deep. The ball is going to bounce at about the 31-yard line. Cocke County bounce. Madison picks it up about the 28-yard line. Flags all over the field. Madison running around the right side, went clear across the field. Another flag goes down.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Steve, we had a lot of action on this kickoff return. Johnny Williams came across, and he did a little clipping job on number 36, Chad Fincham. And then we had Todd Collins having a few words out in the middle of the field while the play was still resumed with number 7, Scott Kelly, and also number 67, which is John Hammonds. And one thing that we have to make sure that we got to do is we got to make sure that whistle blows and time is called before we start clipping people or saying how you doing to your best friend out there.
I'll tell you, they had more yellow flying around that play than I've seen in quite a while. We'll get things sorted out and see just where they do decide to mark the football, as the penalties, at least some of them, are against Jefferson County, the majority, because that's the way they're sending the football back to about the Patriots' 10-yard line. Looks like it may be marked at about the 11-yard line where they finally put it down, where the Patriots will take over first down in 10. 50 seconds left in the first half. Jefferson County leads at 21-7. The Patriots will either try to run out the first half now or possibly try to put some more points on the board. I would expect them to keep the ball on the ground. We'll see. Taylor Quarles up to the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Kenny Madison up the middle. Madison out across the 15-yard line to about the 19-yard line before he is taken down.
He's taken down that time by number 75, and 75 is Dustin Hutch, along with Jason Grooms, and then also number 54, Robert Robertson, which some of you may be very familiar with. Robert is the son of Greg Robertson, which is a very good friend of ours over at Dandridge at the Merchants and Plains Bank.
This will probably be the final play of the first half. Taylor Quarles takes the Patriots to the line, now less than 10 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. Quarles with a handoff up the middle. Nothing there, and that will do it. 2-1, and that's the end of the first half of play. Jefferson County leads at 21-7, as the Patriots, for the most part, looked pretty strong through most of the first half of play. Cocke County, during one stretch, got things going and did get on the scoreboard, but the Patriots with a 14. Well, we are getting ready to start the second half of action now. The Patriots with the 21-7 lead. Jefferson County will kick off. Cocke County will receive the ball first here in the second half of play. Bobby Morgan will send the ball off for the Patriots. Back deep for Cocke County are Pedro Gudger, the man we've been talking about, as well as Chuck Reed, a couple of fine kick returners for the Fighting Cocks. 24 minutes of high school football remain. Jefferson County with a 14-point lead as we head into the second half. Just about ready to go. Bobby Morgan back waiting for the words from the officials to go ahead. There's the whistle, and we are ready to start the second half. Morgan with a low driving kick down along the right sideline, taken up by Gudger across the 20, across the 30-yard line, and about to the 37, 38-yard line before Gudger is taken down. Cocke County will have good field possession to start off the second half.
Well, Gudger was met that time by Scott Henson along with Bobby Morgan, and one thing again that we still have to make sure that we don't do is give him the sidelines, because once he gets up there sidelines, he's gone. The Patriots special teams have been doing an outstanding job. They haven't let anybody break one on them yet, and I don't believe that they're going to let one pretty broken tonight.
Stack backfield for Cocke County. Dawson takes the snap. Handoff is to Jerome Carter with nothing doing. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
He was stopped that time by Brian Dougal Spivey, 6'3", 255-pound senior, along with some help by Tracy Ivey, which is 6'2", 180-pound senior, which is a strong safety. Doing an outstanding job that time. Coach Kisbeth kept his linebackers at home. He didn't want to show anything that time. Until we get a few more offensive plays on the Cocke County side of the ball, I would say that Coach Kisbeth will just be staying a base 52 defense.
In Cocke County with 3 men in the backfield. Dawson takes the snap, handoff again to Jerome Carter. He has a couple of yards this time, but still not a whole lot of room, out to about the 43-yard line.
Andre Batts that time took the running back inside, and when they turned him inside, he was met at the line of scrimmage by Todd Collins. Todd Collins, the all-everything linebacker for the Patriots, is 6'3", 228 pounds. He's playing an outstanding football game all the way around, offensively and defensively.
Third down, 6 yards to go for Cocke County, now in a traditional split backfield. Gudger wide to the left, wide to the right side is Reed. The throw is down that side, and it's intercepted at about the Jefferson County 46-yard line. Darren Cunningham picks it off. The Patriots have the ball.
Well, that time, Brian Dougal Spivey, Mike Smith, along with Johnny Williams, put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and when you get that pressure around the football, a lot of things can happen, and that's when Darren Cunningham came up for the interception.
So the Patriots take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Jefferson County has the ball at its own 46-yard line. Taylor Quarles takes the Patriots up to the line of scrimmage. Running backs are split. Madison and Cunningham. Quarles takes, spins, hand out to Cunningham up the middle. Couple of yards as he runs off tackle, but he's taken down at about the 49-yard line. A gain of, call it 3.
Madison that time was met at the line of scrimmage that time. The first initial lick was by Dustin Hux, and Dustin just couldn't hang on to the spinning Madison and was brought down then by Glenn Holston. Glenn Holston is the nose guard on this ball team, and Jared Taylor, which is the inside linebacker with the 53 base that the Cocke County defensive unit is showing right now. Both Williams and Kisbeth are not changing too much defensively.
Jason Ainsley into the ball game. 406 handoff to Madison, off right tackle. He's across the 50 into Cocke County territory. Breaks a couple of tackles, makes it down to the Fighting Cocks 46-yard line before he's taken down.
Excuse me, Steve. He was brought down by Scotty Dykes, and Scotty Dykes was the only one person between him and the goal line. And the way Kenny Madison is working his feet and working his hips, a lot of things are going to happen before this ball game's over.
Be third down and 3. Madison rushed for well over 100 yards in the first half of this ball game, and he's just itching to break another one. Into the ball game, Scott Henson for the Patriots. Third down, 3 yards to go for Jefferson County. Quarles takes, rolls to the left side. Pass intended for Henson at about the 40-yard line. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. A fine catch, picking the ball up off the top of the grass. Scott Henson takes it in for the first down.
Well, we had a little hot dog in that time with Pedro Gudger, and Pedro and Henson have been, like I said, saying words back and forth, offensive, defensively, and I think they have a personal game to see who's going to be the better ball player tonight, but it's been very tough because both the gentlemen are playing fine ball games.
Henson did a fine job picking that pass up off the top of the grass, as we said. First down, 10 yards to go for the Patriots. Quarles takes Jefferson County to the line of scrimmage. Quarles takes, spins, hand off to Kenny Madison, has an opening down across the 35-yard line to about the 31-yard line. Call it the 32 is where they're going to market. Kenny Madison with another nice run.
Pedro Gudger saved a touchdown, and like I said a minute ago, Kenny Madison's feet are working very quick. He's moving his hips, he's spinning, he's rolling and grooving. So before long, he'll be breaking another one for some big yardage for the Patriots.
Well, it won't be on this play. Kenny heads off to the side. Bobby Morgan gives him a breather. Second down, 1 yard to go for the Patriots. Down and yardage situation a team likes to be in. They can do anything right here. Quarles takes Jefferson County to the line of scrimmage. Takes, hands off to the right side. Darren Cunningham down across the 30-yard line. Inside the 27. About the 26-yard line.
Darren that was brought down by number 40, Jeff Sudbrick, which is a new gentleman into the ball game, along with number 36, Chad Fincham. One thing that Coach Anthony is doing, he's still just giving straight plays, dive plays over the guards and the tackles, tail ends, and it's a battle up front between the offensive and defensive lines.
Jason Hensley splits to the right sides. Quarles with the running back split. Takes, throws for Hensley, and is intercepted. And taken back to about the 30-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. Making that catch and run, Pedro Gudger, his 6th interception of the season.
Well, Pedro was right there. What happened is that Taylor Quarles pulled up the first time because tight end Todd Collins was stuck at the line of scrimmage and couldn't get down in the middle of the field. And when he double-cocked his arm, Pedro had time to come up and see what was going on and made a fine interception.
So Cocke County has the ball, first down, 10 yards to go at the Jefferson County 26-yard line. They mark it. Stack backfield, handoff to the first man through. That's Robbie Holdway up to about the 30-yard line before he is taken down by a couple of Patriot defenders.
Johnny Williams made the first initial hit, and then Paul Helton came up and stuck him along with David Satterfield. And one good person that we're glad to see back in his lineup right now is Johnny Williams, who puts a little bit more speed on the corners and also in the defensive tackle position, and gives Brian Spivey along with Mike Smith a little bit of time to give a breather between offensive.
Cocke County handoff, Jerome Holdway. He has a big opener across the 40-yard line into Patriot territory, taken down at the Jefferson County 48-yard line. As a quick opener, got Jerome Carter his first running room of the day.
Yeah, Jerome read the hole that David Satterfield left wide open. He went on a blitzing linebacker position on the outside shoulder of the tackle, and when that happened, there's a big hole for running back to move up inside.
First and 10 from the Jefferson County 47-yard line. Dawson takes handoff to Holdway. He breaks down the pass for a 40-yard line. As Cocke County once again seems to be playing some inspired football.
He brought that time down by David Satterfield, but the quarterback that time for the Cocke felt a little bit of pressure that time by Matt Music along with Scott Hickey. Scott's doing a lot of moving the offensive center around, but not enough to get stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Holdway handoff over the right tackle. He has a couple of yards inside the 40-yard line to about the 38. That'll be close to a first down. Maybe just a tad short, but we'll see where they mark it. And it looks like they're going to have to call for the change. Very close.
Robert Robertson, which is playing the center's position for this Fighting Cocks team, along with Glenn Holston and also Dustin Hucks, has done an outstanding job on the left side of this football team. Moving Jefferson County back just a little bit. Giving the linebackers an opportunity to blitz outside, not too much inside. When they do that, the quarterback for this ball team, Tony Dawson, is working inside, giving his running backs quite a bit of running room inside.
5 minutes, 38 seconds left in the third period of the evening's ball game. It is short by just about a yard. The ball will be marked at about the 38-yard line of the Patriots. Cocke County needs to make it inside the 37, or pretty close to the 36-yard line for the first down. So it'll be third down, a short yard to go for Cocke County.
This Cocke County ball club has really come alive again. They've got the crowd behind them. And one thing it's going to be is they're going to be both sides standing up and they're cheering Cocke County to make the first down, and the Patriots to hold them for a fourth down situation.
Gudger and Reed, the wide receivers. Senior quarterback Tony Dawson over center. Handoff is to Jerome Carter. He is stacked up quickly, and I don't think he made it.
Well, I'll tell you, it'd be awful close if he did, but he was met right there by David Satterfield, Todd Collins, Andre Batch, Mike Smith, and Scott Hickey right there in the middle of that line of scrimmage. if there was a pile with a lot of meat in it, there it was that time, Steve.
He hit a lot of Jefferson County Patriots and was held short of the first down. Fourth down, maybe a foot and a half for Cocke County, and the Fighting Cocks going on fourth down once again.
One thing they have to watch out is a quick pass to tight end.
Dawson takes a snap, heads right up the middle, and it's going to be close. The ball may have come loose. Jefferson County recovered a fumble.
Well, Dawson didn't get set all the way underneath there. He tried to go with a quick count, and as soon as he got up there, Senator Robinson snapped the football, and Dawson didn't get all of it and coughed it up, and the Patriots recovered.
Scott Hinkie, the man who came up with the loose football for the Patriots, didn't really hurt Cocke County in as much as it was fourth down anyway. They had to make the first down, but the Patriots hold and take over first and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Taylor Quarles has Kenny Madison, Darren Cunningham in the backfield. Wide receiver split. Quarles takes a snap, handoff to Cunningham out across the 40-yard line up to about the 43-yard line.
Well, we got a little push and shoving that time, and like I said, Pedro Gardner and Jesse Day, along with Derek Cunningham, was saying some words all night long, and it's going to get a little bit testy as this ball game winds down, especially if the scoreboard becomes one-sided.
Give Darren Cunningham 6 yards on the carry. Second down 4. Jason Ensley split to the short side, which is the left side of the field for the Patriots. Quarles takes the Patriots up. Quick pitch back to Darren Cunningham. Has some room on the sweep right side, up across the 50-yard line into Cocke County territory, where he is taken down at about the 47-yard line of the Fighting Cocks.
We saw something that was just outstanding, and that's what you call about being good friends, along with having a great leadership ability, a good friend in the backfield. Kenny Madison that time just unloaded on the Scotty Dykes that time, was playing a quarterback position, and gave Darren plenty of running room, and Darren took advantage of it and took the ball right up the field.
Double tight end formation for the Patriots. First down, 10 yards to go from the Cocke County 47-yard line. Handoff is to Kenny Madison, who gets snatched up quickly right up the middle, and not much room at all. Jason Grooms, the first man to hit Kenny Madison, stood him up, and 3 or 4 guys were able to lay hit on Kenny.
Kenny found out what 235 pounds of pure muscle means to be hitting at the line of scrimmage, because Jason Grooms is a quite a young man. He's 5'11", 235-pound senior, and he's one of these gentlemen that like to lift weights all year round and does an outstanding job at it.
Ball placed right in the middle of the field. Second down, 8 yards to go for the Patriots. Quarles with the running back split. Option left side. Pitch back to Kenny Madison. Breaks one tackle. Now reverses his field. Breaks another tackle and makes it down to about the 45-yard line of Cocke County on some excellent individual effort running from Kenny Madison.
Jared Taylor, along with Chad Fitcham, both of the linebackers, ran from the inside linebacker position in the field, you might say, all the way to the sideline to bring Kenny down. Kenny is still have a very quick feet. He doesn't look like he's getting tired tonight at the ball game. Kenny is still wanting to break one more before this ball game is over.
Glenn Purrier comes into the ball game for the Patriots. Third down, 3 yards to go for Jefferson County. Running back split behind Taylor Quarles. He takes a snap, handoff to Darren Cunningham. Cunningham over right tackle up with about the first down yardage. It'll depend on where they mark it, but it appears as though Darren Cunningham did get the first down, and they indicate that indeed it is first down Patriots.
Well, Darren would have had quite a few more yardage if it wasn't for Chad Fitcham. Chad just went on a quick blitz inside over the nose man, Glenn Holston. Just shoestring tackled, you might say, before the linebacker Jared Taylor made the final tackle on him.
Henson into the ball game at one wide receiver spot. Purrier out. Jesse Day, the other wide receiver. First and 10 for the Patriots. Ball on the Cocke County 36-yard line. Quarles takes the Patriots to the line of scrimmage. And Cocke County jumped offside. Let's see if they were drawn or it was the Fighting Cocks who
I'll tell you that
caused the contact.
Steve, if you notice one thing for sure, that you saw that
Against Cocke County.
Cocke County wanted to know who had the last dance, because every one of them moved on the snap count that they've been hearing all night, and Taylor did an outstanding job by audible up at the line of scrimmage, and it took them for a surprise, but picked up 5 yards for the Patriots.
First down now, 5 yards to go for Jefferson County following the offsides penalty. Quarles
Looks over the Cocke County defense. Audibles at the line of scrimmage. Running backs are split. Quarles takes a snap, and the play is whistled dead right away, possibly too much time for the Patriots.
Yeah, I tell you, Taylor, too much time, but one thing we're seeing again, we're still seeing a lot of talk between Scott Henson and also Pedro brother. And Pedro and Scott are going to have to calm it down just a little bit. The official called an offsides on Cocke County, and I sure didn't see anybody jump that time.
Well, I'm not quite sure what it was. Possibly someone lined up in the neutral zone, I guess, although it couldn't have been because they whistled the ball dead, so someone must have jumped offside and made some contact.
Well, that was a gimme for us because it took 2 plays, and we never had to snap the football and get a first down out of the deal.
So Jefferson County now has the ball at the Cocke County 26-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. 1 minute, 14 seconds and running remaining here in the third period of play. Jefferson County 21, Cocke County 7. Patriots driving, have the ball first and 10 from the Cocke County 26. Quarles with the running back split. Takes a snap, handoff to Darren Cunningham out across the 20-yard line down to about the 18-yard line, close to a first down. It'll be second and a yard or 2 for the first down.
Well, Chuck Reed, the 6', 160-pound senior strong safety, brought him down that time, and we were 1 block away from going for 6 points, and the way that we're running the football with our running backs right now, there should be another 6 points on the scoreboard before too long.
Bobby Morgan in for Darren Cunningham in the short yardage situation. Second down, 2 yards to go. 30 seconds now remaining in the third period. Jesse Day, the wide receiver to the left side. 2 tight end formation for the Patriots. Running back split behind Taylor Quarles, who takes a snap. Option left side. Handoff is to Bobby Morgan. He gets the first down yardage a little bit more inside the 15-yard line, down at about the 13.
Chuck Reed on the tackle again, along with number 73, which is Chris Miner, and Bobby still is showing us how to wrap the football up and make sure that it's protected so it doesn't bring a fumble.
Into the ball game for the Patriots now, Jason Ensley. He replaces Jesse Day, brings in the new play for the Patriots, coming down to the end of the first period, and that will probably be the final play, or third period rather. 5 seconds remaining, and neither team wants to make this period last any longer, and time does run out. And we have a couple of flags. Apparently, some of the Cocke County players gave the football a little bit of nudge while folks were watching the clock.
Well, I'm sure that they're getting a little bit heated right now, but they were trying to see where the officials marked the football, not where they did, but what time was on the clock when they marked it. And one thing for sure, Cocke County can't lose their head right now because they still can be in this ball game with the score being 21-7 at the end of the third quarter.
There's a discussion now, and the Patriots will take the penalty. It's going to be an offsides call, is what the official penalty is. And so the Patriots getting quite a bit of help, and the penalty was apparently called before the clock ran out, so they'll move down here, and we're not done with the third period. They'll run another play.
Well, you have to finish up this series on a good note, and we've had 3 good notes. We've had 3 5-yard penalties called on the Cocke, which has given us 1 first down, and then also with this one, it gives another first down. So one thing that Steve, that we will see, the ball will be resting just about on the 9-yard line with 1 play left in the third quarter. It wouldn't surprise me to see if Coach Anthony or Coach Kisbeth may call a quick tight end pop pass, or possibly a delayed draw, just to have a little bit something different than driving right down like we have been.
2 tight end formation for the Patriots. Quarles up to the line of scrimmage. Handoff, though, is taken, and not much running room at all for Kenny Madison. So Patriots did keep it on the ground. Their fighting Cocks wrapped it up. That is the end of the third quarter, really, this time. The Patriots lead at 21-7.
Field advantage sure does help you, not just by fan-wise, but also the support that you can give these ball players. And if these Patriots can finish this ball game in the next 12 minutes victorious, our fans in Jefferson County and the surrounding counties will see a fine football team play at home next week, and they can be very proud. They're conference champion, also district champion, and also the way that they represent the IMAC conference.
Second down, 5 yards to go for the Patriots. It appears the ball is right about on the
9-yard line. Jesse Day split wide to the right, 2 tight end formation for Jefferson County. Running back split behind Taylor Quarles, who options to the right side, keeps it himself, turns it upfield, takes it down close to the end zone. Let's see what they call. Appears to be called down on about the 1 or 2 yard line. We'll have to check where they mark it. First down, though, for the Patriots. And Taylor Quarles couldn't have gone any further without getting into the end zone. They marked the ball on about the 2-inch line.
Like you can imagine, the white stripes that are on the football, that's about how far it is from the goal line right now. And Taylor, all he had to do was a half gain or more, and he would have been in for 6.
John David Holland into the ball game as a double tight end formation. Quarles with the running back split, takes a snap, takes it straight ahead himself. Didn't need to get much, but I'm not sure he got it.
Well, I don't believe he did either that time. Chad Fincham, which was playing the linebacker position, just came right over the tail end of Glenn Holston and Dustin Hucks to make a fine tackle on the quarterback sneak that Taylor was trying to pull off that time.
Well, they actually lost a couple inches on the play, so now it's 2nd and goal from about the 6-inch line.
Well, I'll tell you, if the chalk marks are marked as good as ours on the Jefferson County High School Patriot field that Steve Cross does, and that 6 inches is going to be very accurate. I'm sure that Taylor Quarles has 2 fine running backs to give the football to this time.
Bobby Morgan, Kenny Madison in the backfield. Hand off to Morgan, off left tackle, touchdown Patriots. Jefferson County takes the lead. The score is 27-7.
Just an outstanding job, straight dive over the strong part of this Patriot offensive line. Bobby Morgan with sure hands wrapped the football up and jumped over the line of scrimmage for 6 more points.
Followed big Dougal Spivey and Mike Smith into the end zone. Patriots take a 20-point lead and will try to extend it to 21. Anthony Dawkins in to attempt the point after touchdown. John David Holland, the holder. Patriots line up over the ball, and now a flag is thrown.
Yeah, it looked like our center that time, Ryan Spivey, I believe was over the football, decided that he didn't want to snap the football because not everybody was set, and we had a little motion on the line that time by number 75, Mike Hintz.
So they'll move it back 5 yards and turn the extra point into something a little more than a chip shot.
And one thing we're very happy, we're glad to see Dougal Spivey and Johnny Williams back and playing football this week.
Patriots definitely need their services through the playoffs and in a big game like this one against Cocke County. Now the snap is back, the placement is down, no good. Wide to the left side it appeared. The Patriots throughout the season have had trouble on the extra points, and once again it comes to haunt the Patriots.
At the present time, the Patriots look like they're going to have an unblemished season at 10-0. That we got a lot of things that are going to be happening around Jefferson County for the remainder of the week.
10:47 left in the ball game. Bobby Morgan kicks high and deep, straight down the middle of the field. Pedro Gudger gathers it in at about the 3-yard line, takes it right up the middle, follows his wedge up to about the 20-yard line, takes the high hurdle over one Patriot.
Yeah, that was Robert Tucker, and Pedro tried to leap tall buildings, but Robert Tucker is 6'1", 225 pounds, and when he tried to leap Robert met him in air, and he learned that Superman, he can't fly all the time.
Superman came to the ground pretty hard that time, thanks to Robert Tucker. Cocke County now has the ball 1st and 10 from the Jefferson County 24-yard line. Gudger and Reed, the wide receivers. Tony Dawson, the senior quarterback, has the running back split behind him. Dawson takes a snap. Handoff is to Jerome Carter, who meets a couple of Jefferson County Patriots and is taken down right away.
Jerome that time was just stuck at the line of scrimmage by Paul Helton, and Paul Helton has just played an outstanding ball game, and one thing he has to do is still keep his head because this ball game sure isn't over. There's 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Paul that time had a little bit of help by David Satterfield, and the officials making sure that David Satterfield and also Paul Helton knows to play with a lot of confidence. And one thing these officials have done, they've done an outstanding job keeping a very good sportsmanship attitude on the playing field. And one precaution that they are doing also is they're telling both coaches, but the worst thing has happened. The Patriots finally have been penalized 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Personal foul against the Patriots. This is not a time you want to see something like that occur. It lets the opposition move into some pretty good field position. A quick strike here, and the Fighting Cocks are right back in this ballgame. 1st and 10 for Cocke County. The ball is right on the 40-yard line, the middle of the field. Tony Dawson takes the Fighting Cocks to the line of scrimmage. Running back split. Hand off to the second man through. That's Holder, who has some running room on the left side across the 50 into Patriots territory. He is taken out of bounds at about the Jefferson County 40-yard line with a flag on the play.
Well, that flag was thrown by Scott Henson, and all night long I told you that Scott had to keep his head. Scott's a very intense ball player, and one thing that he has to do is this ball game is not made just on the kind of attitude of blocking and tackling. It's also a mental football game. And you can't be out there pointing fingers. You have to let your helmet and arms wrapping up and tackling and show how good of an athlete that you are. And that's what both of these ball teams are capable of doing. It's one thing for sure, the rivalry is here between Cocke County and also Jefferson County.
So the 20-yard gain by Holdway is extended to a 35-yard play for Cocke County. The Fighting Cocks now have the ball 1st and 10 at the Jefferson County 25-yard line. The Patriots take a timeout. We'll be back in 30. Nine minutes and 35 seconds are all that separate the Jefferson County Patriots from a perfect 10-0 record through the regular season. Of course, 9 minutes and 35 seconds is also included with the Cocke County Fighting Cocks, who are driving now, have the ball at the Jefferson County 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for Cocke County. Tony Dawson has the back split. Handoff is to Jerome Carter, who is wrapped up for a loss in the backfield. Loss of a couple yards on the play.
Well, that time, Steve, David Satterfield comes flying through there at his linebacker position. And during that break, both coaches were notified about the officials are going to be in charge of this ball game. Timeout, both coaches went out and they told both of their ball teams to play under control. And I guess that Coach Williams didn't make the point perfectly clear to one of his ball players, because that time we have a flag called and a penalty called on Cocke County.
See what they mark off, you get the feeling it's another unsportsmanlike conduct. It was a late flag.
It sure looks that way, and really, you can't say a whole lot, because David Satterfield did an outstanding job on his blitz that time, and he looked at the numbers this time instead of looking at the feet and wrapped him up, and he made a fine tackle like you're taught.
Satterfield came through, read the play very well, found the seam, made it into the backfield, and finished it off with the tackle.
Well, also during that last break, we need to pass on I don't know if it's a condolences or congratulations, but a friend of ours that we hear every week on Friday night at home ball games, R.T. Feltner, is celebrating his birthday tonight. So happy birthday, R.T.
1st down, 20 yards to go for Cocke County. Dawson with the running back split. 2 receivers to the left side. Dawson takes the snap, looking left side, throwing deep, intended for Gudger. The pass is knocked away by John David Holland on a fine defensive play.
Well, John David did an outstanding job defending that, and also Scott Henson was over there to help him out to make sure that if the ball was completed, that he was going to do a lot of tackling jobs that time. Patriots put a little bit of pressure that time on the quarterback, Tony Dawson, and Tony had to loft the ball up a little bit higher than what he's used to, and John David was there to break it up.
Gudger was open for a second, but John David Holland recovered nicely to break up the play. 3rd down now, 20 yards to go for the 1st down for Cocke County. 2 receivers again to the left side, running back split. Dawson takes a snap. Draw play is eaten up by the Jefferson County Patriots, Paul Helton.
Now, Paul Helton just did a great job, and he's playing under control along with David Satterfield. And you get this kid as a junior as hot as he is right now, watch out next year when he's a senior.
It'll be 4th down, about 25 yards to go for the 1st down, as Paul Helton made the stop for a loss of 5 on the play. In comes the punting team for Cocke County, but hold on to your bootstraps here. No telling what the Fighting Cocks might try to pull in this situation. 8 minutes, 40 seconds remain in the ball game. Kenny Madison goes deep. Stephen Thompson back in punt formation. He does get the snap and will punt. Ball is high toward the left sideline. It's going to bounce out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. So a good punt by Stephen Thompson. The Patriots will take over 1st and 10.
Well, that time Thompson tried to keep the ball away from Kenny Madison. Did an outstanding job. Kicked all the way across the field. And the Patriots are going to be deep into the territory on the 13-yard line. And they were very much wanting to put some more points on the ball game. One thing that I can say to you, Steve, it's been a lot of fun working tonight with you, and not just us bringing you to this ball game, but also there's 2 other radio stations here and 3 TV stations that I can count on the sidelines.
Lots of interest in this ball game. 8 minutes and 26 seconds remain. The Patriots have the ball 1st and 16. Taylor Quarles takes pitch back to Kenny Madison, who is hit in the backfield. He is tackled for a loss of flag on the play.
Well, he was tackled for a loss for sure that time. He was brought down by number 22, Scotty Dykes, and Scotty did an outstanding open field tackle. But as you said, there's another flag on the play. Lost 2 on it.
We'll check the officials' ruling. It's going to be stepped off against the Patriots, it appears.
Steve, I did mention that there was a lot of media around here tonight as far as radio and TV, but also newspaper. Some people that have some great interest in this ball game are some people that finished up their seasons last night. And one of those group of people are some coaches from Dobbins Bennett, which are scouting this ball game, and also some Heritage High School, and also from Oak Ridge. And no telling how many more that we haven't seen yet that are in this big crowd.
Loss of 3 on the play. A penalty is declined by Cocke County. Jefferson County takes it up to the line. Handoff to Darren Cunningham, who gets out across the 20-yard line, taken down at about the 23.
Well, I tell you, it's an outstanding job by Darren that brought that ball straight up the gut. He picked up some yardage, and he did it quite a bit on his own. There's still some tempers flaring out there, but I think that both these coaches know what they have to do, and they can bring these boys under control because all these young men sure do respect the coaching staffs of both ball clubs.
3rd down, 4 yards to go for the Patriots. Ball right in the middle of the field. Jesse Day split wide to the right side, 2 tight end formation. Taylor Quarles, options right. Pitch to Kenny Madison, out across the 25-yard line, toward the sideline, across the 30. 1st down yardage for Kenny Madison, and he makes it up to about the 35-yard line.
Well, Kenny Madison was taken out of bounds that time by Scotty Dykes, and Scotty got a little bit of help that time by Chuck Reed. Both of those gentlemen made sure that Kenny was out of bounds and stayed out of bounds, and the official was right on the sideline to make sure that no extra activities were going to be taking place.
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. 7 minutes and 24 seconds remain as the clock becomes the enemy of the Cocke County Fighting Cocks. Quarles takes the Patriots to the line. Tracy Ivy split to the right side. Quarles takes a snap. Option left side, handoff. Flag on the play. Darren Cunningham makes it out to about the 38-yard line. Check that, it's Eric Carter in the ball game on the carry, but the flag's down. Let's see what they call.
Well, one thing for sure, we've seen more yellow on the playing fields in this 4th quarter than we have seen white jerseys or black jerseys. And these officials are making sure that this ball game is going to be under control and kept clean the whole way through until that last buzzer goes off.
Officials talking things over with the Cocke County team. Seven minutes, 19 seconds left, 27-7, Jefferson County leads it. And the officials step off a 5-yard penalty against the Patriots.
Steve, we've been mentioning 2 coaches all night long. One of them is Craig Kisbeth and also Larry Williams. Let it know that it is a total team effort. Craig is assisted by Wayne Anthony, Robert Seals, Jim Smith, John Ryman. Freshman coaches this year are Mose Rutherford and Leroy Shannon. And just an outstanding coaching staff, and I'm glad that I've had an opportunity to work with all of them and wish them the very best of luck in the playoffs.
One man can't do it all, and Coach Kisbeth has a bunch of able helpers. Taylor Quarles takes a snap and has nowhere to go. A broken play. Quarles taken down for a loss of about 5 yards. So the Patriots are going to find themselves in a 2nd down and about 20 situation as now they mark the ball
Taylor did one thing that time, Steve. He looked for the quick tight end pop pass. That wasn't available, and then he looked for Jesse Day downfield, and that wasn't available. So Taylor, the only thing he could do was to try to some daylight, but it sure did pile up real quick by a bunch of Cocke County.
They mark it at the 31, second down, 18 yards to go for the Patriots. Jason Ensley wide to the right side. Play action. Quarles looking toward Ensley. Throws now out of bounds, intended for Todd Collins, who from his tight end position had swung in behind Ensley as Ensley went on the fly pattern, but Quarles' pass overthrown out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 18.
Yeah, Chuck Reed. Chuck is not the biggest man on this field. He's 6 foot, 160 pounds, and was trying to make sure that Todd Collins knew that he was around, but Taylor overthrew Todd, and Todd's our biggest target, and what Taylor has to do is make sure he brings that left arm down completely so there'll be a lot more completions.
3rd and long for the Patriots. They need 18 yards to gain the first down. Ivy and Day, the wide receivers. Carter and Cunningham in the backfield. Quarles takes, handoff to Darren Cunningham, who makes a couple of yards out to close to the 30-yard line before he is taken down. Not nearly enough for the first down.
Well, not nearly enough, and there was a host of black jerseys over there making the tackle that time. Glenn Holston, along with Jason Grooms around the football, and also Scotty Dykes, which came up from his split-end position. His strong safety position to help make the tackle.
Into the ball game to punt now. Johnny Williams for the Patriots. The second time he has had to punt in this ball game. Gudger and Reed back to receive the punt for Cocke County. High snap. Williams goes up and gets it, however. Gets the kickoff right down the middle of the field. Taken in by Reed at the 40-yard line. Up across the 45 to about the 47-48. Breaks a couple of tackles into Jefferson County territory before he's finally taken down at the Patriots' 46-yard line.
Well, they did an outstanding job. They had people that are on their special teams. Ron Livingston, Mike Hance, to name a few, along with Ray Burton that were down there, but they haven't wrapped him up. And when they don't wrap you up and you've got the speed that this gentleman's got, he can get a few more yards on his own.
So Cocke County has the ball, first down, 10 yards to go. Less than 5.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. The Fighting Cocks will be expected now to put the ball in the air and try to get some points on the board quickly, because if it's not done quickly, they won't have a chance in this ball game. Dawson takes the team up to the line of scrimmage, takes a snap, drops back, looks downfield, intended for Gudger, who has it at the 30-yard line. Makes it to about the 25-yard line before he is taken down by John David Holland and Jesse Day. A nice in pattern by Pedro Gudger.
Well, John David's just a little bit upset with himself because he was doing an outstanding job on protection, and as he backpedaled one extra step, his footing came out from underneath him, which gave Gudger a little bit more time to come back for the football and make the completions.
Drove the defensive back downfield, turned inside, and made the nice reception. Less than 5 minutes left in the ball game now. 1st and 10, ball on the Jefferson County 25-yard line. Dawson takes the snap, option to the right side. Handoff is to Holdway, who is hit and hit hard at the line of scrimmage.
Well, when you said hit and hit hard, you said it all, and that person was Todd Collins, and all 228 pounds of him met him, stood him up, and drove him to the ground.
Holdway with a gain of about 2 feet on the play, and he doesn't think that was worth it.
Well, not just 2 feet going straight ahead, but it was probably picked up about 4 feet in the air, and then he was slammed to the ground.
So second down, call it 9 yards to go for Cocke County. 4:15 now remaining in the ball game. Cocke County with 2 receivers to the left side of the field. That's Gudger and it appears Reed. Dawson takes the snap, now looking downfield, but runs out of time as he is sacked. Paul Helton, playing an outstanding game, takes down the Cocke County quarterback.
Well, Paul's been in or around the football an awful lot tonight, but I think that's about his 4th solo tackle. When that Cocke County team can't give you enough time to throw the football, that's what's going to happen, and Paul made sure that his presence was known.
So the Patriots showing some strong defense as Cocke County moves into threatening position. 3.5 minutes now remaining in the ballgame. 3rd down, 14 yards to go for the Fighting Cocks. Gudger and Reed, the wide receivers. Dawson takes the team to the line of scrimmage. Short drop, looks downfield for Gudger on a quick opener. Incomplete. The ball thrown a little bit behind his wide receiver. John David Howland on the coverage.
Well, John David did an outstanding job staying all the way with Gudger that time, and quarterback Tony Dawson sure felt a lot of heat right up the middle because Mike Smith was right around him, Paul Helton, Johnny Williams, and One other gentleman that came on a three safety blitz was number 5, Tracy Ivy. And so you have that many people around you, you got to get rid of the football quite quickly.
Dawson it looks as though he's just a little bit frustrated by the Patriots defense, and that doesn't help when your quarterback gets frustrated in that way, and it's showing in his play on the field. 3:20 left, Cocke County calls timeout. We'll be back after 30.
You can handle it.
Stand by.
I'll bring us back. I'm Keith Ryman along with Steve Cotton, bringing you tonight's ball game between Cocke County Fighting Cocks here in Newport, Tennessee, and the Jefferson County Patriots. Where right now with 3:20 left in the fourth quarter, the Patriots lead 27-7. Cocke County has the football where Dawson is over the football at the present time and drops back for a pass, throws the ball deep where it is being picked off by number 40, Scott Henson, which brings it up to the sidelines all the way up to the 30-yard line before he's thrown out of bounds to number 75, Dustin Hutch.
Didn't really hurt Cocke County. It was 4th down. Didn't hurt them a whole lot more than it was a situation where they wouldn't gain a whole lot by a punt. Threw it downfield for the end zone. Henson made the interception, took it back to about the 30-yard line. So the Patriots now in total control of this ball game. 3 minutes, 7 seconds remaining as the Cocke County fans begin to head for the exits.
Well, they sure do. And one thing before these Cocke County fans leave, they sure will see another fine ball team playing next week up in Upper East Tennessee. As it all looks like at the present time that Cocke County will be taking the number 2 spot and Jefferson County will be taking the number 1 spot. And if that does happen, then we have 2 fine ball clubs that the IMAC sure can be proud of.
Darren Cunningham carries up to about the 35-yard line, a gain of about 5 yards on the play, where it will be 2nd down 5 for the Patriots. 2 minutes, 44 seconds and counting remain in this ball game.
Well, Jefferson County is going to play a very conservative ball game right now and make sure that they wrap up the football and no fumbles occur, and that the opportunity comes, we'll put 6 more points on the board.
Quarles pitches back to Eric Carter on the sweep left. Carter up across the 40-yard line. Looks to have enough for the first down. They will mark it at about the 41, 42-yard line, which would be enough for first down yardage for the Patriots.
Well, he was brought out of bounds that time by number 20, Pedro Gutter, and also 23, the strong safety, Chuck Reed. Pedro and Chuck sure have done an outstanding job, and as you said earlier, Steve, Pedro's got a bright future in front of him.
2:24 remaining. Jefferson County, 1st and 10. The Patriots have the ball on their own 41-yard line. Jesse Day, the wide receiver, split wide to the right side. Quarles takes. The give is off right tackle. Check on the number there. Eric Carter again on the carry. Gains about 3 yards, maybe 4. The ball is marked at the 45-yard line of the Patriots. Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6.
Well, just an outstanding surge by this offensive line again, which is giving our running backs quite a bit of running room. When you're gaining 4 to 5 yards a carry, it's a sure credit to this offensive front 5.
Jason Ensley splits to the right side now. Tracy Ivy wide left. Running back split. Quarles checks off from the line of scrimmage. 1:50 remaining. Quarles takes, rolls left, looks downfield, intended for Tracy Ivy, completed out across the 50 into Cocke County territory. He's pushed out of bounds, and we have a fight on the field.
Well, I tell you, I knew it was going to be coming sooner or later, but one thing that you can be admired by both of these coaching staffs, that they're keeping all their ball players back on the sidelines. Coach Kisbeth and his staff's over there bringing everybody back, and Coach Williams is over there making sure that all of his Cocke County Fighting Cocks are back in the middle of the playing field, and the officials are controlling this game just like it should be done.
Tracy Ivy caught the pass along the sideline and was fighting to stay in bounds. A little bit of pushing and shoving as a couple of Cocke County defenders then came in to make some pretty hard hits, and that got things started, but the officials really took control of the situation quickly and turned what could have been a very volatile situation into one which was relatively harmless.
Well, that's true, and you hate to see things like that, but tempers do flare, especially when you do have a good, clean rival as we do have with Cocke County. But the greatest thing about it Coach Kisbeth has the ball team under control. He has the crowd under control, and everybody's going to be coming away from this ball game a winner.
1st and 10 from the Cocke County 46-yard line. Quarles has the Patriots on the line of scrimmage. 1:40 remaining. Quarles takes the handoff to give and stacked up quickly at the line of scrimmage. Eric Carter may have even lost a yard on the play.
Eric was met that time by Glenn Holston and Jason Grooms, and you know, every time you have a penalty because of a little brow beating on the sidelines or something, you know, you're going to come back and it's just going to make you play a little bit more with a little bit more of intensity.
2nd down, a long 11 now for the Patriots. Jason Enns, or rather Tracy Ivey, split to the left side. Jesse Day wide right. Ball right in the middle of the field. Taylor Quarles over center. Running backs are split. Play action. Quarles now is sacked in the backfield, and the ball comes loose, and Cocke County, with 59 seconds left in the ball game, recovers the Quarles fumble.
Jason Grooms was kind of outstanding ball game. He recovered that fumble. Taylor was ready to cock that left arm, and as he did, he was hit very hard. Just never had an opportunity to release a football, and Cocke County came up with it.
Good pass rush from both sides of the line by Cocke County. The man coming in behind Taylor Quarles was Grooms, and that was too much for Taylor Quarles as he got hit from the blind side. But Cocke County now 1st and 10. Ball at the Jefferson County 47-yard line. The single wing formation again. Gudger deep to take the snap. No, the snap's to the short man. That's Holdway, who's up across the 45-yard line and wrapped up with a fine open field tackle by Darren Cunningham.
Well, that time when you saw this wild formation that was going on the single wing, the short man did get the football on the snap that time, and Darren came up and made an outstanding open field tackle and had a little bit of assist at that time by number 57, Brian Spivey, which came over from his defensive tackle position.
Cocke County calls timeout. They may not have a chance to win this ball game with just 27 seconds remaining, trailing by 20 points, but there's a lot of pride on the line when these two teams go against one another, and the Fighting Cocks would like to get into the end zone in the final 27 seconds of this ball game, if nothing else. It'll be a 2nd down and 6 situation for the Fighting Cocks when play is resumed after that 4-yard gain by Holdway. Holdway's played a pretty fine game for Cocke County, but the Fighting Cocks, with the Patriots jumping out to the big lead, were not able to stick with the game plan they like. A lot of running with Holdway and Jerome Carter. Jerome Carter has really never gotten on track in this ball game. He had one nice run, needed only 11 yards to make it over the 1,000 mark on the season. Probably has not made it beyond that by a whole lot. I'm sure he has his 1,000, but he's been contained pretty well by the Patriots. We're ready to go once again. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. The ball's at the Jefferson County 44-yard line. Snap back to Gudger in that single wing formation. Now he's under a big pass rush, chased by Johnny Williams, chased by Paul Helton, wrapped up by Paul Helton back at the Cocke County 44, but they're saying he did get rid of the pass. It looked as though he was pretty well wrapped up. He did flip the ball away at the final second. 17 seconds remain.
Well, Steve, I don't know if you heard, and we may be corrected here in just in the next few minutes, but I'm going to stick my neck out, and I believe that I heard over the PA system that if everything indicates the way it looks right now, Jefferson County will have the home field advantage against Sullivan South, and if that is true, Sullivan South has beaten Elizabeth in the night. And that Cocke County will be playing Kingsport up in Kingsport.
The playoffs are ready to get underway. Again, the single wing formation. Gudger takes a snap, throwing deep downfield, and the ball is picked off by, who is that?
Henson.
Scott Henson, who has had a little personal battle with Gudger throughout this ball game and now makes the interception. There's a flag on the play at the point of the interception.
Well, I'll tell you, with everything that's gone on tonight, one of the greatest things that I've seen all night is Cocke County athletes just helped Gudger. I shouldn't say Cocke County's athletes just picked up Gudger, but the Patriot athlete went over there and picked him up after a fine pass rush on him, and both of them shook hands and kind of patted each other on the tail end and let each other know that they've played a heck of a ball game.
8 seconds remain. The penalty is marked off against Jefferson County, but it's after the interception. So the Patriots do have the ball. First down, 10 yards to go. 8 seconds remaining in the ball game. The penalty was unsportsmanlike conduct after the interception. They marked off half the distance. Jefferson County with the ball at about their own 4-yard line, maybe 3-yard line. Taylor Quarles takes the Patriots up to the line, takes a snap, falls on the ball. 5-4. That's going to be the ball game, folks. Jefferson County 10-0. The Patriots win it 27-7. The regular season is now behind the Patriots in the manner that the team wanted. The playoffs are ahead. We'll be back right after this.
And in the playoffs,